Hi guys, Jamie from Boxing Life, and back again today to give you my thoughts on Taylor versus Serrano. And first and foremost, I just want to say what a fantastic fight that was. Honestly, I think that was probably one of the best fights I've seen this year. And I said in a recent podcast with Josh from the Good Boxing Podcast that, they need to make the most of this opportunity. And they both certainly did that in this fight. It was very close, first and foremost. I actually had scored the fight a draw. Make sure to comment below and let me know how you guys had it. I think there was definitely a couple of swing rounds in there you could give to either lady. But yeah, I scored it a draw in the end because it was a very close fight. And I guess let's just touch on the fight itself. I think the kind of first three rounds, you saw Katie Taylor using her boxing skills, in and out movement, whereas Serrano was just trying to walk down Katie, go into the body, trying to slow her down, and it seemed to be working. I quite like Serrano's obviously a southpaw. She's very economical in her movements, and I think that just gave her a bit more energy to really get her in those middle rounds. And I think, what Taylor was doing in those first three rounds was working. The catch left hook was getting her every time, and her counter punching was great. But saying all that, at the same time, Serrano was walking down Taylor. She was sitting down on her shots. She was connecting. But overall, I think Katie Taylor was, it was just getting cleaner counter punches on Serrano, whereas Serrano was, maybe getting the better work when she had Katie at the ropes, going to the body and whatnot. And then it obviously came to that fifth round. It was like Katie Taylor almost decided to stand toe-to-toe with Serrano. Kind of maybe she felt she could withstand the power. And it clearly was a mistake. I don't know what she was thinking at that moment. She was definitely hurt and was lucky to survive that round. And it's interesting, I was talking with Josh about this, that was 3-minute rounds. I think Serrano probably would have got Taylor out of there, if I'm being honest. She looked, her legs were stiff, and she was clinging on for dear life to survive that round. But because of that, I think Serrano kind of just outpunched herself. She couldn't keep up after that, really, with the intensity. She kind of tired from throwing all those punches. Going into that sixth round, Katie Taylor still looked pretty dazed from the fifth. But then after that, for me, Taylor pretty much won all those rounds. I did swing the last round in favour of Serrano, which made it a draw. But, you could have gone either way, especially, they were just throwing bombs at the end. No technique, just pure warrior spirit and heart. And I think that was the difference to probably Katie getting the result, was those first 3 rounds, and then the last 4 rounds, really, in my opinion. And I think if they were to fight again, I think that's how Katie Taylor needs to fight. Boxing. Her trainer was telling her to go to the body, and she was just not doing it. But, people forget fighting is chaos. The atmosphere seemed electric there. And things go out the window sometimes when you're in that situation, and she still did very good. I think she was boxing and moving, and she got her rhythm back. And Serrano, like I said, had kind of outpunched herself in that fifth round, and you could tell she was tiring. She was just swinging. Serrano needs to sit down on her shots to really do the damage, and Katie did a good job in those last few rounds, just boxing and moving, 1-2s, in and out, and countering Serrano. It was just a very entertaining fight, I have to admit. And it's a shame, for Serrano. I feel, like I said, I scored it a draw. I'd love to hear what you guys think it was. I can understand both ways. I think there was 3 or potentially 4 swing rounds in there you could give it. And I was really impressed with Serrano, I have to admit. I think overall she was just economical with her moving forward in the first kind of 5 rounds. Yeah, you could maybe still give those rounds to Katie Taylor, but she just looked more composed and more powerful than Katie Taylor. But it was the kind of the boxing skills of Taylor in the end that really made the difference. But yeah, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I thought personally that was one of the most entertaining fights I've seen this year, and yeah, I can understand if you had Serrano winning the fight too. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, what a fantastic weekend of boxing that was. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.